Yo, what is up guys, it's me Lee, and welcome to day 16 of the 2017-2018 NBA season. Do you guys remember when Kyrie asked to be traded from the Cavaliers because he wanted to be more of a leader of his own team? And people were like, is Kyrie actually good enough to lead his own team? Bring up the fact that before LeBron came back to Cleveland, that Irving was the leader of the Cavs and they were struggling to win games, so he might not be the best leader. Yeah, well, I thought that argument was ridiculous back then when they were making it, because I don't know what you expected from Kyrie Irving back then. A young guy with no experience on a team with no other talent. What exactly was he supposed to lead them to? But still, I guess there was reason to doubt whether or not Kyrie could lead his own team, since we never had any proof that he could lead his own team. However, I think it's time to put that question to rest now. Yes, Kyrie Irving can be a leader on a good team, and no, he didn't rely upon LeBron James these past few years. The Celtics now have a 6-game winning streak after they lost their first 2 games of the season with the 113-86 win over the Sacramento Kings. Sure, this win doesn't really say much since just about every team in the NBA is beating the Kings by 20 plus points, but that doesn't change the fact that Kyrie Irving is doing everything that we questioned whether or not he could do. You look at his stats and you might not be that impressed. 22 points and 5.5 assists per game. His scoring hasn't gone up. His assists haven't gone up. And I will admit that I expected him to be scoring a bit more with the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas averaged nearly 30 points per game playing for this team last year, so I thought Kyrie could definitely do the same. And I do think his scoring will rise as the season goes on. He's still trying to figure out a new system, playing with new teammates. You could expect him to get off to a slower start this year. But if you have watched the Celtics play, I don't think you can any longer call Kyrie Irving a ball hog, because he is out there making extra passes. He might not get a lot of assists, but I just think that has more to do with how the Celtics offense is being run. It's not like he has the role of Chris Paul, James Harden, or Russell Westbrook, where he makes the pass and whoever he passes to shoots the ball. It's more like he makes a pass and then that guy makes a pass, so no assists for Irving. But the important thing is that he passed the ball. He initiated the offense. And then the defense of Kyrie Irving has actually been much better this year too. Now, getting a lot of steals doesn't make you a good defender, but he is averaging a career high in steals so far with 2.5 per game. And he isn't letting his man blow right past him like he was doing in Cleveland. Overall, I just really think Kyrie Irving is doing a great job of trying to be a leader on the Celtics team so far, and he will only get better the more comfortable he gets in Boston. Speaking of getting better, the Phoenix Suns, who possibly could have saw this coming, after one of the worst starts to an NBA season you could possibly have, maybe the worst start in NBA history, the Suns are out here looking like they could be a threat to make the playoffs out west if they keep playing like this. In the first half, they kind of look like the old Phoenix Suns. The Washington Wizards waxing and taxing on them just like Mr. Miyagi. Washington had a 22-point lead in the first half. However, Phoenix fought back to cut that lead down to only 12 at the half. And pretty much as soon as the second half started, the Phoenix Suns started waxing and taxing on the Washington Wizards like Mr. Miyagi. I mean, just like TJ Warren, aka Mr. Miyagi, who absolutely destroyed the Wizards last night. A career high 40 on the night, including 28 in the second half alone, as the Suns come back from 22 down to get the 122-116 win over the Wizards, despite Bradley Beal also dropping 40 points of his own last night. The Suns are now 4-1 since Earl Watson was fired and Eric Bledsoe was sent home. And what they're doing right now kind of reminds me of what the Miami Heat did last year, except instead of taking literally half the season to turn their season around, it only took a few games, and you can't take this team lightly anymore. They're not pushovers. If you watch the end of this game, you could tell that LeBron James is heated. The dude ain't happy at all with the way he was playing down the stretch. He was basically out there saying, man, my team is complete trash. I gotta try and do it all by myself, because if I don't, who will? Nobody. Give me the ball and move out my way. He started playing bully ball, but not even LeBron bully ball could save the Cavs last night, because there was not a single ounce of defense being played, even down the stretch. The Pacers were literally able to do whatever they wanted to do on the court, and the Cavs not playing any defense early let the Pacers get into a rhythm where they couldn't miss a shot. Everything they put up was going in. Check this out. Indiana shot 54% from the field and 61% from three. 61% from three. Man, the Cavs lost 124-107, their fourth straight loss in a row. And are some of you guys still not even slightly worried about this team right now? I mean, there wasn't a single person on the Pacers who wasn't balling out on Cleveland last night. Thaddeus Young dropped 26. Bogdanovic dropped 17. Sabonis had 15 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Darren Collison dropped 25 and 8. And Oladipo had 23 and 7. The Cavs got torched on their home court, and I seriously thought this was the game where they would look to have a statement game after that meeting they had on Tuesday. They had a chance to show that they were still the kings of the East with a win over a team that had been red hot these past few games, and they wind up getting spanked. What's going on, Cleveland? I told them, man's not hot. Man can never be hot. Boom, boom, you don't know uckas. If you're wondering what that was Malik Monk in the fourth quarter. Dude reminds me a bit of CJ McCollum type player. He's one of those guys, if he hits a shot, if he gets in his zone, then just pray for yourself because he ain't gonna miss. The rookie went off for 18 points in the fourth quarter last night. He is exactly what the Hornets needed. Another guy who can go out there and just straight up get buckets with Kemba Walker. Hornets are capable of playing some pretty good defense, but their offense can run kind of dry at times, and Malik Monk sure helps out with that. Monk and Walker were just too much for the Bucks last night to handle, as Double M lit it up for 25 in only 23 minutes, and Walker added 26 of his own, and that was despite Chris Middleton going off for 43 points. Giannis just picked a bad night to have his worst game of the season. It had to happen sooner or later, though. No one can have an entire season where they play like Giannis has been playing. Only 14 points and 5 of 16 shooting from him last night. 126-101 was the final score as the Hornets get their third straight win. Speaking of third straight win, that is also what the Sixers got last night too, with the 119-109 win over the Hawks. It was a pretty close game until things started to fall apart in the fourth for Atlanta. Ben Simmons was incredible once again last night too. 1 assist shy of a triple-double, 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists for a rookie playing in only his 8th NBA game. I really don't think this man was hyped up enough for how good he really is. Maybe it's just that no one thought he was going to be this good already. He's completely taken the spotlight away from Embiid, in my opinion, but both those guys together on the court, that's a deadly duo already. Embiid had 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. The East is actually looking pretty good so far this year, and they have a lot of fun teams to watch too. The Sixers, the Celtics, the Bucks, Hornets, Pistons, Wizards, and the Orlando Magic. I think this team is for real this year too. Might have been a bit early when they were 4-1 on the year to say that they could actually be good this year, but now that they're 6-2, coming off an impressive win on the road over the Memphis Grizzlies. Granted, Mike Conley was out with a sore Achilles tendon, but still, I think it's safe to say that the Magic are just a pretty good team now, playing like a really good team right now. Fournier continues to be a lights out shooter on the year as he put up 22, and Aaron Gordon continues to be one of the most efficient players in the NBA as he scored 19 on 7 of 11 shooting. 101-99 was the final score. Man, you know it was going to be a long night for the Knicks when their star player got crossed up on the first possession of the game. Like, why did you have to do that to Porzingis, Harden? Pretty much zapped the confidence right out of him to start the game. And maybe that is actually why Porzingis had an off night yesterday. Only 7 of 18 from the floor for 19 points. And when he has an off night, the Knicks really have no chance of winning. After winning 3 in a row, they fell to Houston 119-97 as the Rockets snapped their little 2-game skid. Harden with 31 points and 9 assists, and Ryan Anderson dropped 21 for the Rockets. Let's see if Porzingis and the Knicks can bounce back in their next game. How would Cat perform going up against Cousins and Anthony Davis? 3 of the best big men in the NBA all on the court at the same time last night, but not for long, as Cat wouldn't be able to keep out of foul trouble in this one. Man was essentially a non-factor for the Wolves last night, only 2 points and 5 rebounds, yet the Wolves were still able to come away with the win somehow, 104-98. And what is it with the Wolves this year that makes all their wins have to go down to the wire? I can imagine that it will be pretty stressful to watch them play if you were a Wolves fan. Butler led the way for Minnesota with 23, while Cousins had 25 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals, and 3 blocks, and Davis had 24 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals for the Pelicans. It's honestly starting to get really sad. Those guys literally do everything for the team while everyone else struggles to chip in 10 points on a nightly basis. In their last game, the Raptors had a quarter where they limited the Blazers to only 1 field goal and 6 points. In this game, the Raptors had a quarter in which they let Denver score as many points as they wanted. The Nuggets blew this one wide open in the third quarter when they outscored Toronto 43-25, mainly thanks to Jamal Murray, who caught fire in the third period, scoring 16 of his 24 points in the third, while Jokic was only a couple points shy of a triple-double with 16 rebounds, 10 assists, and 8 points. Lowry and DeRozan both had awful games for Toronto last night as it combined for only 19 points on 8 of 20 shooting. 129-111 was the final score. Am I the one that's tripping here, or is Ricky Rubio actually a scoring threat this year? Like, am I tripping out, or am I seeing that Ricky Rubio just had a game where he scored 30 points and only had 1 assist? Who is that out there for the Jazz this year? The changes of scenery, man, it's crazy what that can do for some of these players as the Jazz get the 112-103 win over the Blazers behind Ricky Rubio's 30 points and 1 assist. Donovan Mitchell was also big off the bench for the Jazz last night too, as he scored a new career high of 28 points, and they really needed him last night because their starting shooting guard Rodney Hood literally couldn't make a shot. 0 of 11 from the field, 0 points. For the Blazers, Dame was only a couple assists shy of a triple-double as he had 33 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. After a couple of tough losses to the Pistons and the Warriors, the Clippers really needed this game against the Mavericks as they coasted to a 119-98 blowout win. Griffin didn't have to do much, but it was still enough for this one. 20 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds, and you know a player is good when that is considered just to be a meh game for them. Dennis Smith Jr. had 18 for the Mavs. Lastly, Hassan Whiteside finally returned from Miami last night as the Heat snapped their losing streak with the 97-91 win over the Bulls. Whiteside had 13 points and 14 rebounds in his return, and Fred Hoiberg remained true to his word about getting Markkanen some more shots, and it paid off as he had a career night scoring 25 points on 9 of 18 shooting. That wraps up all the action from last night though. You guys go vote for the player of the day by following the link down in the description box below. Just remember that only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected Devin Booker and his 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists as your player of the day. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily NBA highlights, as well as stay tuned for the daily NBA news coming out later today. But I'll see you guys then. Peace!